Deep down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12. Good!
Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win it! They win it!
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ.
Going up over Bell. Ball away. Yes! Yes! At the buzzer. He does it! Was there ever a doubt?
A Smith screen. Coaching will defend. Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life.
It's a physical game. Oh, man, oh, my. A monster jam by Blake Griffin.
What's going on, guys? Whoops. Let me get that camera on. Jeez. My fucking camera. Jesus. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Time Dropper for another. Actually, not another. This has been my first kind of video like this in a minute. Laker fans, welcome back. It's been a while. If you haven't been listening to me, understandable. Haven't done Laker videos in a while. This has been my longest time doing This is my longest I haven't done a Laker video since I started Dime Dropper. So shout out to everybody that's out here. Yeah, it's been a minute since before I went to Qatar, like November 9th. Dennis Schroeder and Thomas Bryant hadn't even played a game last time I did a Laker recap. So briefly before I get into the Rui Hachimura trade, because that's all I'm going to be talking about tonight, let me just say that the Lakers have really stepped it up. I mean, they were 2-10 when I was first watching them this season. I think Darvin Ham's done a lot of good things. I also think that he has done some things wrong. I mean, he is a rookie head coach, so he's going to come with his mistakes. Obviously, I always think people are going to be too harsh on coaches at times. That being said, I am the same guy that's criticized Ty Lue so much this year, but he's got a different roster, a much better roster. Darvin Ham has less to work with. I think the only thing about Darvin Ham is he's made some questionable decisions with lineups, especially small, heavy three-guard sets and stuff like that, with three guards playing at once with like Dennis Schroeder, Pat Bev, Kendrick Nunn, who obviously was included in the trade today. But overall, you can sense that the Lakers are competing more on defense consistently and just competing more game to game. They're definitely a better team than last year. And I'm pleasantly surprised with Dennis Schroeder and Thomas Bryant. I mean, Thomas Bryant's shooting really, really well. He's shooting over 60%, shooting over 40% from deep. Dennis Schroeder's had some big games. He's in the starting lineup. And he's still kind of showing that peskiness that we saw in 2021. So I'm really impressed with the Dennis Schroeder that we've gotten. Had huge games against Miami when LeBron and AD were out and the Lakers still won. And then at Sacramento when the Lakers got a really good win there. But let's get into the trade. So Lakers, obviously, they have a couple of flaws. Mainly, they don't have enough wing players. They really only have LeBron and Juan Toscano-Anderson, and then guards that play above their size. Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker, Patrick Beverly, and Dennis Schroeder, who all can kind of guard guys a little bit taller than them because they're aggressive. They're kind of a nuisance, but they don't have any wing defenders and not enough good shooters. You know, what the Lakers desperately lack are the type of players the Clippers have, those 3-and-D guys. They could even use a guy like a Marcus Morris who could knock down shots on the outside. And the Lakers today got a steal of a trade. I mean, I saw Rob Pelinka last week at Pepperdine. I was at Pepperdine versus St. Mary's, and he was there watching the game. Tall motherfucker, but he was rocking the man purse. And it looks like he had something cooking because the Washington Wizards, by trading for Kyle Kuzma, kind of created a logjam at that big forward spot. Denny Avdia is another bigger forward as well. And I don't think Rui Hachimura is like a true wing. He's more of like, I always say the power forward position in the NBA today is dying because there's not that many traditional power forwards. And when I say a traditional power forward, I mean somebody that gets the ball and operates, 18 feet away from the basket and in, can shoot mid-ranges, is more of a power player around the basket. Occasionally can step out and shoot the three, but is mainly a 18 feet and in kind of guy, post-game, that kind of stuff. And I think Rui Hachimura skill set is closer to that. He's not a great three-point shooter, even though he shot 45% from three last season. In the other seasons of his career, rookie year, 29% from three. Sophomore year, the one I watched the most of, 33% from deep. And then this current year, 34%. I think last year was a little bit more of an outlier. He only played 42 games, missed 40, was in and out of the lineup. And so the reason why I know a lot about Rui Hachimura is if you've been following me for a while, you know that obviously I do Laker and Clipper games every year, right? Those are my two teams that I do coverage on because they're LA teams. But that first season that I did Dime Dropper, I had a couple Dime Dropper teams that I designated. And the Washington Wizards with Russell Westbrook were one. So we got to watch a lot of Rui Hachimura. And today I went back and listened to some of the stuff that I was saying in the moment. And I didn't get too much on Hachimura. It was mostly Westbrook Beal. But what I do remember is this. That was the best season of his career thus far. He played in 57 games and only missed 15. He averaged 31.5 minutes a game and started in every game he played. Averaged 14 points a game, 5.5 boards on 48% shooting and 33% from deep. And this is what I have to say about him. I think, as I said already, he's got more of a power forward skill set. He's strong. He actually has a semblance of post game where he can turn over either shoulder. Now, I don't know how consistently that is, but he can post up. And everyone knows how much of a sucker I am for post up. He can turn and face. He's really strong, like 6'8", 250. He can hit the mid-range, and he can step out and knock down the three as well. But I think with Rui Hachimura, he's not going to be a guy that you just want to be a spot-up three-point shooter on offense and get the most out of him. Now, I know I saw a stat today that said he's been really good at shooting corner threes, and the Lakers could use anyone that shoots threes well from anywhere. Doesn't matter if it's top of the key, wing, corner, don't matter. But the corner three outside of an open layup is considered the most efficient shot in basketball these days, they say. So Rui Hachimura is probably going to get a lot of open threes, a lot of good looks. We'll see how those pick and pops with LeBron and pick and rolls with LeBron do go. But I think if they only make him a spot-up shooter, you're going to get a lot of inconsistent games. Now, I remember Rui Hachimura, there would be games where he wasn't aggressive enough, where the Wizards wouldn't get him involved enough. He sometimes has a lack of that alphaness about him. He'll have a huge dunk or something, and he's athletic, man. Don't get it twisted. He'll have some really nice highlight plays. But when I mean that dog, I mean that consistent aggressiveness. He's not just a sit-in-the-corner guy. The Lakers need to empower him. I wonder if he's going to be in the plans past this season and past LeBron and AD. Because the fact of the matter is this was a lottery pick, a top 10 pick. The Wizards fumbled because they have no idea what they're doing. They have no vision. They're stuck in the middle with Bradley Beal, who's not leading his team to a playoff appearance. They're stuck in the middle. So they're in one of the worst. And shout out to my boy Chris Aviles, Wizards fan, and my boy Luke Cameron, both from DC area, DMV. The Wizards are probably in the worst spot of any team in the league right now. They have no direction at all, and there's no end in sight, really. Rui Hachimura was their 9th pick. Then they had Denny Avdia, Johnny Davis, Corey Kispert. And, I mean, the fact that Rui Hachimura was already unhappy because Kyle Kuzma was traded there and he kind of took his spot, and last year he was injured, and then this year he's been on the bench. He was going to leave. That's why they didn't get anything for him. Now, was there a better deal out there on the table? I don't know. Only the Wizards GM, Tommy Shepard, and those guys know that. But 2 second-round picks and Kendrick Nunn for a guy that you picked 9th in the draft, absolutely it's just ridiculous how bad of a spot they're in. But a great win for the Lakers. Very low-risk, high-reward move. I mean, I think Rui Hachimura is going to help immediately, but here's the thing. Don't expect perfection. I remember in 2021, he had games, like stretches where he'd have 3 or 4 games where he had under 10 points in like 4 straight games. And then there were games where he had 10 consecutive games in double figures or 11 consecutive games in double figures. It's really all about how aggressive he is. You need to keep empowering him. That's on Darvin Ham and that's on LeBron James. Keep him aggressive. Throw him the ball in the mid-post a bit. Let him turn and face. Let him back down if he has a mismatch. Let him become a better basketball player. Not just help your team win, make him a better basketball player. No, it's a win-now team, and it's a developmental guy. So you're going to have to go with his ups and downs. He's going to have mistakes he's going to make, which brings us to his defense. Now, this is the one thing I didn't remember too well, because when you watch a guy 30 games in a season and that's all you really remember, it's hard when you're not watching him every night like he plays for the Clippers or the Lakers. I can assess his defense like that with a magnifying glass, and we're going to get to do that in a couple of days when he suits up for the Lakers. I don't think he's going to play against us tomorrow, Clippers. And by the way, I will be live post-game directly after that one. So Clippers-Lakers, that's our best the game that we get the best views. So everybody got to pop in after the game for that. And then I should be doing Laker post games very soon I know I've been saying that for a while, but we're going to get back on the horse as this season starts to get to the nitty-gritty, the last 30 games home stretch. So I will be doing Laker recaps post-game like usual. It's just hard with Locked On. I have to do it 5 days a week, and it can be very tedious. But Rui Hachimura's defense, from my memory, he was a good defender. He was big. And listen, you can hide 6'8" a lot better than you can hide 6'3". Even with bad defenders that are that size, like ones that come to mind, like Michael Porter or Marcus Morris, when those guys are engaged, they're decent defenders. And I remember Rui Hachimura having good lateral quickness and being strong. He's the type of guy you would throw at like a Kawhi or LeBron, not as the primary guy, but if he switched onto them, he's the perfect body because he can absorb hits and he's big. And I remember there was a game in that 2021 season where he did a good job on LeBron, actually. So I think he's going to just add size, and the Lakers desperately needed size. Desperately. As I said, I don't think he's a true wing. He's more of like a combo forward, as someone said in the comments. He's like a somewhat traditional power forward with a little bit of a modern touch. 6'8", so he'd be a little undersized for your 2000s or 90s power forward, but he's perfect for today's game as a power forward. So I think it's a very solid move. The thing about his defense is, though, that was 2021. He was very engaged. I remember he was decent laterally. He was solid, nothing crazy. And I think that his defensive metrics are all going to look bad because the Wizards have terrible defenders around him. Terrible. In 2021, he was one of the only guys that actually was a body. When he was trying and engaged, very good. That's what it really has to be. He needs to be engaged. And I think he will. New environment. It's the Lakers. Everyone's got a magnifying glass on you. And I think last season you saw some people criticize his defense and he was a little bit disengaged. But I think that's a lot of mental things. I think that's a lot of him not really knowing his future with that team and kind of being disenchanted with what was going on in Washington. So we're going to get to see his defense on a more close scale. But in 2021, his defense was very solid. The team's defense was bad, but that's because they had guys like Alex Len, Robin Lopez, and Thomas Bryant as their only bigs, and Westbrook and Bradley Beal, who Bradley Beal was very poor defensively that year and would pick and choose. And then Denny Avdia was a rookie. These are the kind of guys they had out there. Raul Neto, Davis Bertans. So any defensive metric from that season that you throw at me for Rui Hachimura, you can throw that shit in the garbage because he was surrounded by horrible defenders. So that's my thoughts on the trade. Rui Hachimura to the Lakers. Now let's look, and I liked it. But here's my final thoughts. Is it a big needle mover? No, it's not. This is not the trade that's going to make the Lakers become a championship team. They need to get one more wing that can really, a real wing that can really guard the other team's best options and knock down some open shots. Those guys ain't growing on trees, so you're going to have to make a big deal that no one expects. Jay Crowder actually is out there, but I think he doesn't like LeBron from his Cavs days. And I know he doesn't, but he maybe given the circumstances, he'd be willing to throw his differences aside. But let's look at the comments tonight. Ace Boogie says, yo, Sir Cartier was good. Says, yes, sir, back at it. Johnny Jonah, Enrique Rodriguez, what's up? Long time no see. What's good? Adam R says, we better come ready to play from start to finish because the Flakers been playing good ball. It's clearly a Clipper fan. Mr. Quote 19 says, the roster imbalance has been crazy. I agree. A lot of smaller guards with the Lakers and not enough wings. Enrique Rodriguez says, Thomas Bryant is doing all the things that we thought Andre Drummond would do. Really? Andre Drummond was never expected to space the floor, though. Thomas Bryant's like a pick and pop big. Ace Boogie says, Schroeder's better than Wall, and he's on a minimum, LOL. Yeah, I mean, we didn't pay John Wall that much, though, Ace Boogie. But you're right. Dennis Schroeder has been playing better than him. Alex Delata says, damn, we really here to talk Lakers? Man, we hit rock bottom, huh? No, I've always talked Lakers since I started this channel, Alex. When did you start watching me? I've always been Lakers. I don't root for them, but I do content on them. Mr. Quote 19 says, Rui is a combo forward. I agree with that. I think he's more suited for power forward than small in this NBA, but if he played 10 years ago, he would be a small forward probably. Zachary Darrington, what's up, man? Says, I'm so ready for tomorrow. Thomas Bryant versus Zoo is a key matchup. Yes, and I talked about that on my episode of Locked On Lakers / Locked On Clippers. Going to be out tomorrow with the Kamenetsky Bros from Locked On Lakers. Appreciate them for having me on. Chris Simmons says, the Black and East brother Rui going to ball out in LA with Braun and crew. Can't wait till AD is back. Yeah, AD was playing such incredible basketball. LeBron, again, he's literally averaging like 38 and 7 as a 38-year-old in year 20. That is unheard of. And he's almost going to pass Kareem's record. So that's going to be a sight to see. The live after that's going to be definitely something emotional. me as a former LeBron fan, but also as a Muslim man that loves Kareem and always wanted that record to stay. That's going to be a crazy moment to witness that record. That's one record I thought would never be broken. But wow, you got to give LeBron his credit. It's going to be crazy to witness that and to talk about it after. Kyle's Take says, what's up? What's going on, Kyle? Daniel Barry Sports Highlights says, yo, what's going on? Ace Boogie says, Rui is basically a younger Morris. That's actually not a terrible comparison, but I think Rui's a lot better at his age than Morris was at his, and I think he's got more upside. Because Marcus Morris was a late bloomer. Judge Judy says he's in the Lakers' future plans. They have his bird rights. I understand they have his bird rights, but let's see how this season, end of the season goes. He could enjoy himself. He could not. Lakers could hit with this signing big time, with this trade, or it could not work out the way they want because they're in a win now mode and the Rui Hachimura needs to still develop. I know he spent 3 years at Gonzaga, but he's had a really weird start to his NBA career. Chris Simmons says, Bron and Russ going to bring that dog out of Rui. Let's go Lakers. We'll see. Crooktown P says, clip ganger, don't bang. What's good, dime dropper? To that I say, what's good? Phoenix Play Z, the Raptors fan, says, the Rui move is so mid. He's bad defensively. Based on what? Ace Boogie says, do you honestly believe Clippers are real contenders this season, or is the fan in you just holding out hope? Of course I think we're real contenders. Just need to play the right guys, the right amount, and Kawhi and Paul need to stay healthy. As I said, I know I haven't done a live for the Clippers in like a week or so, but I've done vlogs, and I've said it before. There's only and Locked on Clippers. There's only one more back-to-back till the beginning of March, January 28th and 29th. So besides that, they should be playing every game. Splash and Skills, what's going on, man? Haven't heard from you in a while. Says, hated the trade. Rob overpaid for mid again. Cheapy and Robber got to go no matter what. What? I think you're being very negative. Overpaid? Phoenix Plays E says, also, I think people forget how useful early second-round picks can be. Those 31, 32, 33 type of picks are equivalent to late firsts. I don't know if that's what those picks are going to end up being, dude. And Twain says, pretty good trade. Excited to see how both teams do. Agree with that. Judge Judy says, Suns not trading him to Lakers. LOL. Oh, you're talking about Jay Crowder. Yeah, probably not. Splash and Skills number 37 goes, real wing equals Gary Trent Jr. Here's the thing. You can say that, but I'm thinking more defensively, like a small forward type. Gary Trent will add the shooting and add to the scoring problem and, yeah, the outside shooting, but I don't know how much he's going to help defensively. Daniel Clifford says, what's up, Dime? What's up, Daniel? Judge Judy says, I don't think any team wants to play the Lakers in the playoffs. I mean, depends who you're talking to. Dude, right now you're like the 12 seed. Ace Boogie says, fun hypothetical question. If the Nets offered KD for Paul George tomorrow, would you pull the trigger on it? Yeah. Yeah, I would. But I do love Paul George. Alex Delata says, hey, I don't mind what we're talking about. I just enjoy your content, to be honest. Hey, thanks so much. And by the way, guys, 51 people in here tonight. 56, my goodness. Super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime. So if you want to donate to the channel, man, I'm always taking donations. Anything can help. We're always trying to bolster up equipment. Look, I got a green screen now. The lights are on. It's beautiful. It looks way more official. Streaming service. Keep it coming. We're going to keep making it better. Phoenix Plays Z. Oh my God, you're giving me defensive metrics, bro. Defensive advanced stats. I always say those are fugazi. I don't want to be that advanced stats guy, but he's in the 51st percentile on his individual defensive stats. Okay, next. I'm not even going to see that. I need you to, break something down for me. Ace Boogie says, you're a former LeBron fan. Why'd you stop being a fan? Because he changed and I changed. Simple as. And you can go check my previous videos to find that out. He changed. He's not the same guy that I was once in love with in terms of as a player. Jerry King says, I think the Clippers need to get Serge. What? Zubats is injury prone and too young. First of all, when was the last time Zoo actually got hurt? That's a nonsense comment, Jerry King. Might as well be Larry King's corpse talking right there. Carnivorous Lunar Activity says, the slander of the LA teams from the rest of the league is getting out of hand. LA unite. You damn right about that. Ace Boogie says, Clippers need a trade. Reggie, Norm, Wall, Luke off the bench as barbecue chicken for other elite teams. Yeah, I've been saying they should trade Reggie and Wall. Phoenix Plays E says, even when you watch Rui, he has trouble guarding in space. He's very prone to getting overpowered in the post. I didn't see that in 2021 at all, quite frankly. Phoenix Plays E says, eye test matches the stats. I think at best he's a mid to bad defender. Well, I'm not going to agree with you because I haven't watched him seriously in over a year. Bunit Shima says, don't sleep on the Lakers. I'm telling you. I mean, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean? And I've always said that they can be dangerous in the playoffs. They got to make the playoffs. Enrique Rodriguez says Rui will not play versus Clippers according to sources. He can play as early as Wednesday versus the Spurs. All right. Bunit Shima says, I have watched a lot of Laker games. They haven't had Reeves, AD, and Lonnie, and they've been a lot better. They're figuring it out. They have potential to knock off a top team. Yes, I agree with that, but you know what they say about potential? It's all it is, potential. Phoenix Plays Z says they should get Serge for the vibes. No, we shouldn't. Serge is so washed, guys. He's not the answer. Love him, but he's not the answer. Ace Boogie says, I have a hard time believing Clippers winning a chip with Morris playing big minutes. And you would be right about that. The Clippers need to get rid of Clippers need to get rid of Marcus Morris, but he needs to be out of the starting lineup and his minutes significantly reduced. Okay, this guy's a troll, Jerry King. He's a troll. He says, as a Clippers fan, I don't see us winning until we get Mike D'Antoni as our head coach. Ty Lue has done nothing in the time he's been here. Okay, so he's just a troll. Joshua Huang says, what's up, Dime? Ideal lineup after trade? Talking about for the Lakers? Judge Judy says you can make Rui a system defender. I agree. I mean, he's got a big body. He'll be great for rotating around the basket if he's sharp and alert on that and is willing to put his body on the line. And with Anthony Davis next to him, it's going to be even better. Just to have that size around. With LeBron, imagine Rui, LeBron, and AD all out there at once. It's a lot of size and length. Bunit Shima says, I think the main thing Clippers should focus on, getting young at the starting power forward like John Collins or Jared Vanderbilt. I agree with you on that. And if they can make a move for one of those, it'd be fantastic. Alex Delata questions Jerry King saying Zubac's injury prone. What did you smoke before that one? Yeah, facts. Carnivorous Lunar Activity says, but why are Wizards giving away Rui to Lakers for peanuts? Because he was going to leave. That's the answer. He was going to leave. Ace Boogie says, what video is that? What way did LeBron change? Did he turn you off? Oh my God, you're making me say this. Okay, I think over time he's gotten way more self-absorbed. He actually believes he's the greatest player of all time now in his mind. He does things for the narrative, pads his stats a lot. And whenever he talks, it doesn't sound genuine anymore. It sounds like he's saying something for the cameras, like the lying shit. Like, why does he lie like that out of pocket? I know he had, like, they showed the one about the 81-point game, but if you actually listen to his interviews from the first tenure in Cleveland, like basically before he won the 2016 ring, he sounded a lot more humble and genuine. Like he was still chasing something. Now it sounds like he thinks he's the greatest thing ever. And I think he just does a lot more phony ass shit. And he's quit a lot more times in the playoffs, quite frankly. And also proven to me that he's willing to stack the deck. He's willing to take the easiest way out and stacking the deck in terms of his teams. That's just my opinion. Actually, it's not opinion. That's factual. You know what I'm saying? He does. So there's my opinion. And I changed the way I view the game and the view I have of basketball as a whole and everything. I'm older now, older, wiser. I can see through bullshit. And he bullshits a lot. Phoenix Plays Z says, you guys want Fred to complete your Raptors 2.0? We'll take man and picks. Yeah, right. Splash and Skills 37 says, Ibaka should dominate in Taiwan like Dwight. I agree with that. Enrique Rodriguez says, what do you think of the Lakers bench? Westbrook, Reeves, Troy Brown, Max Christie, Rui, and Wenyen Gabriel. I think it's really good. No opinion on Max Christie. I have to watch him play more. Troy Brown, I don't think is a rotation player for like a team that wants to win a championship. And I mean that with all due respect. I mean, Troy Brown played with my boy Will in Oregon for a year. That's just my opinion on him. By the way, 71 people in this live. This is the most people I've had in a live in a long, long time. So shout out to everybody in here. Remember, super chats are turned on. If you want to drop $1 a dime, throw some dollars out there. Alexander, my boy, says Mike D'Antoni the GOAT. Yeah, right, dude. If you remember Alexander from the World Cup preview and final episode, shout out to him. Kyle's Take says, does Russ need to go in order to trade for that second wing? He might. But what team wants Russell Westbrook right now, second half of the season on an expiring deal? I don't know. Phoenix Plays Z says, I think the Clippers should get into the Josh Richardson and Doug McDermott sweepstakes. Apparently their asking prices are second round picks. Why would we want those two? That solves nothing. Bunit Shima says, what do you think of Miles Turner and Naz Reid for the Clippers? Again, everyone's been having Miles Turner in trade talks for like 5 fucking years. Naz Reid would be fantastic, but he's going to come at a price. Ace Boogie says Nuggets are the only team in the West that the Clippers don't want to see in the first 2 rounds. Hey, you can throw the Golden State Warriors in there, bro. They're still the defending champs, and I'm not super confident on them. Playing them, I should say. Bunit Shima asks, how much is Kawhi dropping tomorrow? I'd say 30. In the last 10 games, he's shooting 50, 40, 90 and on 26 points a game. So I'm giving him 30. Crypto Mike asks, what do you think Morris, Reggie, Wall, Luke for Gary Trent and Fred VanVleet? Dude, listen here. Listen to that trade. You think the Raptors would accept that? They'd be on crack to accept that. Splash and Skills number 37 says, I want to see Nas Reed on my Lakers. Splash and Skills, aren't you a LeBron fan, not even a Laker fan? Crypto Mike says, love your content, Dime. Good to see you live. Appreciate you, Crypto Mike. Carnivorous Lunar Activity says Clippers versus Shannon Sharp and Lakers. Oh, yeah. Shannon Sharp getting into it with Dylan Brooks and the Memphis Grizzlies players sitting courtside defending LeBron. That's taking Bron's sexuality to a new level. Alexander asks, would you trade PG for someone like Chris Middleton? Bro, Alexander, I know you're trying to ask serious questions, but that's a joke. Chris Middleton's been injured all year. Ace Boogie says, where would you rank LeBron historically? Top 3? Again, are you new here, Ace Boogie? What's my rule? Hey, somebody got to tell the new kid what's the rule with me doing all-time great rankings. Nomer Malaya asks or says, Rui have opportunity to become a star in LA. We'll see about that. It all depends on how they use him and how they develop him. Splash and Skills number 37 says, Lakers bring views. It's magic. Enrique Rodriguez says, do Lakers content equals more viewers. You might be right. It's been too long. Joshua Huang says, Max Christie is a rookie. Before the Nunn trade, Darvin used him over Nunn due to defense. But that's good. Ace Boogie says, if you took away the contracts, would you rather have Westbrook or Wall? Westbrook. Take 5 with Ty says, I'm sorry, but when do we have the convo about Kawhi being overrated? What? Not when he's shooting 50, 40, 90 in the last 10 games on 26 points. People are not talking about how good Kawhi's looked right now. He's not overrated. Kyle's take says, meanwhile, us Dubs have been in the Yaka Pirtle sweepstakes for a while. Hey, man, the Golden State Warriors got to get their shit together. Enrique Rodriguez says, do you think the Clippers need to make a trade? No, I don't think the Clippers need to make a trade, but they can use Marcus Morris, John Wall, or Reggie Jackson going, or all 3 of them going. Phoenix Play Z says, more spacing is better, man. You think the Clippers lack spacing? And Richardson gives you a touch of shot creation. You can never have too many good spacers. We have enough good spacers. And I think Josh Richardson is not a very intelligent basketball player, in my opinion. He takes really stupid shots. So no thanks, bro. We have enough floor spacers. That's not an issue with our offense. If you have a pick and pop big that can defend, that would add something to our team. PJ Bacon Huis Bacon Huis says, what happened to workout Myers Leonard and Boogie Cousins is gone? Guess none of them passed the eye test for the Lakers. Alex Delata says, what do you think of these Nas Reed rumors if you heard them? First of all, these are all coming from like random people on Twitter. These are not coming from actual sources. Nas Reed would be fantastic, but I don't think that's realistic. And by the way, 81 motherfuckers in the live right now. 81 is a special number because yesterday was the 17-year anniversary of the great Black Mamba scoring 81 points against the Raptors. I remember where I was for that game. So let me drop some 81s in the comments right now for the Black Mamba. Bunit Shima says, I am very afraid Clippers use Kennard in a trade for a great front court player. Yeah, I'm a little afraid of that too. Splash and Skills number 37 says, bruh, Spurs fans talking crazy this deadline, I swear. Doug McDermott and Josh Richardson for 2 picks? Come on, man. Splash and Skills also says, nah, Dime. I'm Lakers from Kobe days, man. Okay, my bad. Ace Boogie says, why are Clips fans obsessed with the idea of D'Angelo Russell? My answer to that is they're not. It's like 2 or 3 fans on Twitter. June 28th, July, my man. Thank you so much again for the money. I really appreciate it. Super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime. He asked, who do you predict are meeting in the conference finals/finals? It's way too early to predict that right now, June 28th, July. Way too early. I do think, though, I'm going to stick with Celtics Bucks out east, but the Brooklyn Nets and the Sixers have a really good chance, especially the Nets. Because Chris Middleton, his health is really concerning to me. He's not been healthy this season. In the West, it's a complete toss-up, but I'll tell you what, Denver will be there. I don't know who'll be joining them. I hope it's us, but Denver will be there. Terrell Lewis says, better than Clippers? Who's better than the Clippers? Ace Boogie says, yeah, I'm new. Okay, well, welcome to the family, my friend. Welcome to Dime Dropper fam. Kioi102, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you. Said, just wanted to show love. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Carnivorous Lunar Activities says, Dime Dropper is an LA native, so technically he can claim both Lakers and Clippers. Yeah, but I'm a one-team guy. I think you should only ride with one team because at the end of the day, it's you versus the world. I'm a Clipper fan, born and bred to the day I die. Nathan Wong says, which Clippers can be pulling up to next? Thursday against San Antonio. You'll get a vlog for that. And by the way, check out my vlogs, man. I've had some really good ones this season, especially the one against the Mavs. I was in the third row, and I got all the players walking by me in the tunnel. It was really cool. My Norman Powell video is going to be out tomorrow, which, will it be out tomorrow? Maybe, where I actually got to talk to him a little bit, and he was just, talking to Brian Seaman, answering questions. It was really cool. Great guy, Norman Powell. Ace Boogie says Clippers would have a chip right now if they had KD instead of PG-13. Well, I don't know about that statement. Enrique Rodriguez says Shannon Sharp and Dylan Brooks were on some WWE shit. Phoenix Plays E says Memphis are the biggest frauds in the West, and everyone is overlooking it. Their half-court offense is bottom 10. You need a minimum top 15 half-court offense to contend. That transition BS don't work postseason. I agree with you on that, actually. I do agree that Memphis, when the game slows down, will be in trouble because they don't have anything outside the threes and right around the rim. Jonah Carey says Lakers are better than the Clippers. I don't know about that. Yes, sir. The 81s for Kobe. 81s, baby. Nomer Malaya says, do you think the LA Clippers make a move to solidify the roster? I truly don't know. Our front office has been very unpredictable. 81s, yes, sir. Bunit Shima says, I would be happy with Morrison Wall going, but I would hold on to Reggie, but I'm scared because Norman Luke kind of played the same position. They package Wall, Luke, and Mook. It would be really hard to say bye to Kennard, but if we get something really big, it's going to be okay. Terrell Lewis says, Kobe's of the greatest shooting guard of all time. I don't know what that means. Bunit Shima says Paul George better be efficient tomorrow. I agree. All I care is I don't give a fuck about the efficiency, actually. He just needs to win. He needs to take care of the ball. Splash and Skills number 37 says Stan Kroenke's team's been winning championships recently. Arsenal are leading the Premier League. Yeah, oh my God. They've been unbelievable this season, man. It could be a special year in North London. Rams already won, missing the Nuggets, and the Avs won last year. Shout out to my man, Kel McCarr, UMass alum. Might be their year, and Jokic Finals MVP. You're right, man. Moneybag Stan, man. He's been doing his thing lately, his teams. Fuck. Kyle's take says, it's so hard to cheer for two teams, bro. Like, even if you say you cheer for two teams, you would definitely shout your lungs out for one team over the other. At least for me. You can only truly care about one team. I agree with that, Kyle. Wheezy Bang says, the Slippers. Very creative. Hepatitis, see you later. It's been a while, man. How you doing? He said Lakers converted a guard to a young forward that's a 6'8". Huge dub. Facts. Nunn was such a disappointment. Take 5 with Ty says, West is going to be Denver and Warriors. Can't ever count out Steph. We'll see. Ace Boogie says, Clipper Darrell is finally awake from his nap. Yeah. Joshua Huang says, what grade would you give Darvin Ham for as of right now? I'd say a B+. Nah, I'd say a B. A B. Carnivorous Lunar Activity says, why is no one getting Melo? Dude can still get buckets. I don't know, man. I think people just think he can't guard, and he can't, but he can really give a team 15 points off the bench or 13. Like, I really think he could be used. There are teams that need some scoring off the bench. Alchemy Production says, I would like to see Clippers and Lakers in the playoffs at least one time. Yeah, I don't, but Patrick Park says, I love my LA team no matter what. Wheezy Bang says, Lakers will kick the Slippers' ass tomorrow. We'll see about that. Lakers have lost every single game against the Clippers in the Ty Lue era. Could be due, though. Phoenix Plays Z says, would you sell the farm for Turner on this Clippers roster? No, I wouldn't. Easy06 says, do you think the Lakers make the playoffs? I don't know, but I do think they'll make the play-in. I said they'll be the 9th seed before the season. I'm going to stick to my guns. And by the way, my predictions of the Eastern Conference, if you go watch my video before the season of my predictions for every team, all 6 of the teams I predicted in the East are the top 6 right now, just in a different order. And they're 9 out of the 10 teams are in the top 10, except Indiana instead of Toronto. So Toronto needs to get their shit together. Enrique Rodriguez, the West, though, don't ask about that, with Sacramento doing so well. Enrique Rodriguez says, do we have any score predictions for the Lakers-Clippers game tomorrow? Yes, 110-103. Clippers win. Ace Boogie says, Paul George is already turning 33. This isn't as long as Clipper fans seem to think. No Clipper fans are thinking past this year, my friend. Take 5 with Ty says, Melo's overrated at this point. I disagree. I think he's underrated right now. I think he's better than people thought last year for the Lakers, honestly. Phoenix Plays E says, Melo is so poo-poo defensively, he's going to get targeted in every ball screen action. But, bro, there are other players that do too. That's why I have a problem. Other players get targeted every fucking ball screen. Melo's not the only one. So that's why I have a problem with it. Kyle's take says, if I ever one day get a career opportunity abroad in the States, I should meet you one day. Kyle, where do you live? You don't live in America? Take 5 with Ty says, people only want to see Melo because of nostalgia. That's not true, though. I think he was actually decent for the Lakers last year in his role. Carnivorous Lunar Activities asks, why does everyone think Jokic is MVP? Dude is abysmal on defense. Dude, he's not actually abysmal on defense, in my opinion. He's average, and he's honestly decent at times, and he's freaking amazing offensively, and he's leading his team to number 1 seed, and his team has never had another all-star with him, even though I think Jamal Murray is an all-star caliber player. Aaron P. asks, what did you think of Pat Bev's taunt on Dame yesterday? Classic Pat Bev doing the most. He's doing a little bit better lately. He's still not having a very good season, and I was very wrong about that move right now, like very wrong. He's looking like trash, but he is shooting a little bit better lately, and I know he's definitely added a little bit of fight to the roster. I can't lie. You can see it in the way that they play and how consistently the Lakers play hard. That guy Spencer says, I wanted Rui a few years ago, but now nah. What's up, my man Spencer? Phoenix Plays, he says, we are tanking, man. I want OG, Fred, and Pascal off this team, build around Scotty plus the farm of assets. Bro, wait, what? You want to trade Siakam? I understand trading Fred VanVleet and OG and Gary Trent, but Pascal Siakam, who's approaching his prime? Hell no, don't trade him. Hell no. Unless you don't think he can take you anywhere. A Wheezy Bang. Okay. Kiwi Lemonade for Kawhi Leonard. What an interesting nickname. Patrick Park says, I know LA will win tomorrow night too. Can't wait for AD to come back. Yeah, LA will definitely win tomorrow. That's for sure. We can guarantee that. Hepatitis See You Later says, Marcus Morris will drop 35 on us tomorrow. He shows up in those Laker matchups. You're not lying. He does show up in those Laker matchups, but I don't think he's not been in the best form. Ace Boogie asks, you think Ballmer would actually blow it up if this was a first-round exit? No. You never know. You just never know. Bunit Shima says, Clippers can get Siakam if they really want to for Morris, Kennard, Wall, and Brandon Boston and Preston. No, what the fuck? No. Kyle Six says, nope, I'm from the Philippines. No way. Really? Wow. Shout out to you, bro. I know I got viewers in the Philippines like that. Spencer, you know I've always been on. Spencer's asking, he's saying, I don't want us to settle for this 4th, 5th, and 6th seeds. Thoughts? Bro, I've been with you since day one. You know that. Take 5 with Ty says, Clippers will not win a ring until they get into their new stadium. Then they'll get that monkey off the back. Okay. Sure. Next. Phoenix Plays Z says, I'm a de facto OKC fan because he's shy. You think OKC can make the playoffs this year, or are they too premature? Nah, they can, because he's insane, bro. He's going crazy. I mean, I knew he'd be a great player, but this is insane. Shout out to Olin, his trainer that I used to train with. SGA, 30 points a fucking night. It's insane what he's doing. They're actually in the conversation, even without Chet Holmgren. I mean, they're going to be definitely a playing team next year. There's no doubt. And we'll see what pick they get. Carnivorous Lunar Activity says, how angry would you be if Pat Bev wins a chip with the Lakers before the Clippers win a chip? Livid. Absolutely livid, but he's not gonna. Kyle's Take says, you haven't done your weak-ass Lakers Pat Bev mock lately. It's true. Because the Lakers haven't been playing like that week. I'll do it tomorrow if we win, though, for sure. Phoenix Plays, he says, I want Pascal off the team. He's peaking at trade value. As soon as athleticism declines, he's going to be a cooked product. His mid-range shooting isn't consistent. So now you agree his mid-range shooting isn't consistent. But before, he's a sniper. He's so good. This and that. He's better than Bosch. Man, it's crazy how you guys turn on your players. Come on, man. He's in his prime. He's a great all-time Raptor in his prime. Might as well keep him and him and Scotty and build around him. Alex Delata says, the Clippers are 21st in fast break points. We slow down way too much on the break and let defenses get set. Got to find a way to fix that, in my opinion. Well, I think that's playing Terrence a little more and getting stops and getting out and running off those stops. But we're also just an older team. Easy06 says, what should the Lakers starting lineup be when AD is healthy? Okay. AD, LeBron, Schroeder, Lonnie Walker, and maybe Rui Hachimura if you want to really go big, or you can go with Austin Reeves. But I think Ham loves Bev for some reason. I don't think starting Bev is the move, or you can go with Thomas Bryant and AD and then LeBron and go really big, and then Lonnie and Dennis Schroeder. John Wall's not playing tomorrow, Enrique. Phoenix Plays, he says, I think it's far easier to rebuild around Scotty than getting a championship level number 1 to pair with Pascal. So you just think Pascal will never be a number 1 on a championship team? You're admitting that? Because I feel like Raptors fans, I feel like the way they talk, they're holding out that he can be. Bunit Shima says, I will be good with the 4 seed. I won't. Ace Boogie says, I think there's a decent chance Paul George doesn't finish his career here, especially if they don't win. We'll see. He really he loves being a Clipper. Stanley Obang says, Clippers will never win a ring, whether they go to new arena. Okay. You know those never comments? I remember every single one of them, and you're never going to hear the end of it if we ever win. Enrique Rodriguez. Yeah, this is typical of him. Also, if the Lakers defeat the Clippers, watch Pat Bev go crazy and say shit like weak-ass Clippers. Yeah, I know. He might easily do that shit. Kevin Schwang says, hey, Dime Dropper, glad you're doing a Lakers video. Schwang, I appreciate you, man. Stanley Obang says Lakers won the trade. Absolutely. Kyle's takes says, bro, you need to bring Pat Bev in the show one day. We'll see about that. Phoenix Plays Z says, he's still better than Bosch. I don't know. I disagree, but he still suffers the same problems as Bosch in the sense of he can't be the best player on a championship team. I agree with that. Although Pascal's argument is stronger now with the way he's been this season. Kyle's takes says, top 5 NBA people you wish to bring on Dime Dropper. Could be anyone. Okay. Clyde Frazier, Magic, Jerry West, Terrence Mann, and Chris Paul. And Dr. J. Ace Boogie says, have you ever been, and Marcus Johnson. Ace Boogie asks, have you ever been starstruck by an NBA player before? Nah, not really by an NBA player. No. Joshua Huang, I just met Tayshaun Prince the other day, actually. Joshua Huang says, are there any players that you're eyeing on the trade deadline when it approaches? Not really. I'm not really the biggest guy into the trades and stuff. Stanley Obang says, wish Nunn best in the Wizards. Rui played with Russ, Troy Brown, and TB on the Wizards. Yes. Hepatitis See You Later says, man, if I'm the Lakers, I'd call up Masai and offer 2 firsts for OG and Siakam. Probably not realistic, but worth a shot. Lakers could be bad in 2027, 2029, so Masai might be enticed to take a chance. I don't know. Take 5 with Ty says, Pascal's a bit overrated in my opinion. He got extremely overhyped after winning the ring. He reminds me of Bosch in Miami, but not Bosch in Toronto. Okay, interesting. Bunit Shima says, Morris Wall should be the main trade bait. Get rid of 2 old heads and get younger and more athletic. I agree with, but what teams want them and which team's going to trade you younger athletic for that? Patrick Park says, good starting 5 you just called, bro. Appreciate it. Splash and Skills says, Rap should have traded Pascal for PG back in 2019. Was that offer really actually on the table? Or was that just Kawhi Leonard trying to mess around with the Raptors? OB96 asks, why is there a lot of Twitter hate from Wall, Morris, and Reggie? It's not hate. They just haven't been playing well enough. Wow, Alex Delata says Sacramento whooped on the Grizzlies by 33 tonight. No job, but how about the Kings? Oh my God, the Kings have been amazing. They're actually one of the only teams in the NBA that play a different kind of offense. They get Sabonis catching at the nail, at the elbow, bunch of cutters. Mike Brown's done such an amazing job. He's always been underrated as a coach. He did such a great job with Cleveland, with LeBron, and everyone just he took Mike Brown's shitty coach. And the way we've done the revisionist history with those Cavs teams is insane. And then he took over Phil Jackson, guys. He had so much pressure on him. He was taking over Phil Jackson. He still got the Lakers to the second round. Pau Gasol was not as good as he was in 2010. He was looking like a shell of himself in the Mavs series. And they didn't have Lamar Odom anymore, and they traded Derek Fisher, and they still had a chance to win that Thunder series, funny enough. And they traded him 5 games into the new season. It was just harsh. He's done a great job. He's probably learned a thing or two on that Warriors staff. But, man, I'm so happy for the Kings. They're going to make the playoffs this year. They'll definitely at least make the play-in. And it's going to be so cool to see Sacramento break that playoff drought. There's straight up kids that haven't seen them make the playoffs. And it's going to be nuts to see Golden One Center host their first series. Oh, my God. It's going to be so loud. Ace Boogie asks, you think CP0 and the Suns window is closed? Absolutely closed. Phoenix Plays, he says, majority of the Raps fan base accepts that Pascal's a number 2 on a chip team. He can't be a number 1 due to the jump shooting inconsistencies. He's still elite as a rim finisher, though. I agree with that. But then why don't do you think Scotty Barnes will ever be that number 1 guy? Why don't you just try to trade for a number 1? I don't know. It's easier said than done, right? Stanley Obang says Siakam is good as a number 3 option. I totally disagree with that. B. Rizzy says, shout out for Clippers games being so cheap. I go just cheer against them. You're just a weirdo. You're one of those weirdos. You're a loser. Patrick Park says Pat Bev will go off tomorrow. We'll see about that. That guy Spencer says, would you rather a point guard or a backup center for us? Definitely a backup center. Solitary Potato says, how far do you think the Pelicans go this year? All depends on Ingram and Zion's health. You can't judge them right now. Kyle's take says, was there an NBA legend you were super starstruck when you saw it for the first time? Nah, probably not. Carnivorous Lunar Activity says, what do you think of players like Ayton getting max contracts? Dude's not a max player, but a market. I think Ayton's worth a max for sure. In this market, absolutely. Nathan Cruz asks, how would you feel about Clippers trading for Zach Collins as a backup? That'd be good. I like Zach Collins, but he's very injury prone. Budit Shima says, Denver scares me so much. They are why I want to make a move. Everyone else is beatable for the Clippers. I feel you on that. Kyle's take says, what will be your best question to ask you brought man on the show? I just want to talk to him. There's a lot of things to say, but yeah, I mean, how you feel about Game 6. Do you know what that meant to Clipper fans? Phoenix Plays Z says, I'll tell you this, Pascal will command at least 3 unprotected firsts in any deal, and OG Anunoby will command at least 2 unprotected firsts. That Lakers deal will never happen. Phoenix Plays Z also says, I find it disgusting that Laker fans will put guys like Austin Reeves in a second if they think they can get a superstar. Well, that's Laker fans for you, though. Nathan Cruz says, who do you think is most likely to be traded on the Clippers? John Wall. Trade for Clippers. Moses Brown, PG, 3 first-round picks for Klay Thompson. Bro, what? Alex Delata says, yeah, I've always liked Fox and Sabonis before they were teammates. It's a great young duo to watch, man. I agree. That was a weird example of a trade that was win-win. Kings won and the Pacers won with Halliburton. Stanley O'Bang says, Pat Bev should be on the bench, not starting. I agree. Joshua Huang says it will be interesting if all California teams make the playoffs. I think that could easily happen this year. Not easily, but it could. Kyle's take says, not going to lie, I'd be hyped if you brought Chris Paul on the show and hearing all the questions you would ask the guy. You could probably write a book about it when it comes to his career. Oh, I definitely could. Carnivorous Lunar Activity says, all coaches are overrated. Players make coaches. To some degree. I wouldn't say all coaches are overrated. Alex Delata says, speaking of the Kings, do you think Rashawn Holmes would be a decent backup big? Yeah, for sure. Baby Montrez. Take 5 with Ty says, Klay, Kawhi, and Zoop. Stop with the Klay stuff. Ace Boogie says, what are your thoughts on Kyrie's play? And you think the Clippers should have bought on him low? No, absolutely not. But he's been playing great. Playing really great. Stanley O'Bang says, Clippers blow it up. Trade PG and Kawhi for... Okay. Aaron P says, Pelicans are fun. Alvarado reminds me of JJ Barea, but he's more scrappy on defense, and JJ Barea was definitely better offensively. Carnivorous Lunar Activity says, I want the Nuggets in round 1. For my Lakers, we wax the Nuggets. They do have a good matchup with the Nuggets. I think it's because AD and Jokic. Spencer says, do you think Reggie is still feeling effects from last season? What do you mean by that? Like, he's fatigued and tired? Nathan Cruz says, if the Clips don't win the chip this year, would you rather than blow it up or trade for a 3rd star? It all depends on how we lose. Carnivorous Lunar Activity says, San Francisco in the Super Bowl. I hope not. Anyone but them. I'm really rooting for Philadelphia here. And by the way, Dallas Cowboys. Another year goes by. Another year that I've never seen the Dallas Cowboys make the NFC Championship in my life. America's team. Never. And we got to start asking questions about Dak Prescott, man. You think he can do this? He kind of was weak. And the Cowboys had so many spilled potential interceptions, man. Dropped interceptions. And those penalties on one crucial drive in the second half totally cost them. Such fine margin in the NFL. Hepatitis See You Later says, Clippers don't have any first-round picks to deal, right? I think we have ours this year. Probably won't matter anyway in trade talks. Jerry West going to end up finessing someone again like the Blazers for Powell. Phoenix Plays Z says, Sabonis is Jokic light. It's legitimately a Pokemon evolution change. Şengün, Sabonis, Jokic. I love Şengün, by the way. Stanley O'Bang says, CB3 and the Suns had chances to win, choked 0-2, and obviously last year, don't see them in the finals. I agree. I don't think they're even going to win a playoff series. Kyle's take says, but were you following or like critiquing Chris Paul when he was in New Orleans, though? Not like he did. No, not like when he was at the Clippers, but I was still really into the NBA, and I can tell you a lot about those years. Stanley, I actually thought Chris Paul was overrated when he was over there. Not 08, though. Not 08. Stanley O'Bang says, CB3, if he got traded to the Lakers, would win a chip with Kobe. He may have. Phoenix Plays Z says, I'm so fucking disappointed as a Bills fan. Allen folded and our D-line folded. Yeah, and didn't Von Miller not play? Feel bad for them. I feel bad for the Bills fans. Enrique Rodriguez says, it's sad that the Cowboys fans have to suffer like this every year. No, it's not. They've won like 5 Super Bowls. Nathan Cruz says, what are your thoughts on people suggesting Clippers should get D'Lo or Conley? It does not solve the issues at all. All right, last couple of minutes, guys. Stanley Obeng says Carmelo, Dwight, Rajon should be an NBA team contender because DeAndre Jordan have a job in the NBA. Not Dwight or Rajon, but Melo maybe. Jeez. Enrique Rodriguez says Dak Prescott been playing like a USFL backup against San Francisco. Ace Boogie asks, you a Devin Booker fan? Big time. Love his game. And the Suns have been so bad without him. Who's the most valuable player now? We're still doing that conversation? Kyle's Take says, great question. Is there something about Chris Paul in his career that got swept under the rug because it happened so long ago, something no one talks about today? Yes. That in 2009, he played against the Denver Nuggets in a playoff game, and they absolutely beat him by like 50 fucking points. And I don't think people talk enough about the Game 5 choke against the Thunder, honestly. Phoenix Plays Z says, I think Conley moves the needle for the Clippers. Why? Because he's smart? Ace Boogie says, what NBA players do you dislike most? Everybody from that Grit and Grind Grizzlies team. James Harden. Really don't like him. There's a lot of people I don't like these days. But James Harden. And I don't really hate many players. But, yeah. Stanley Obeng says, good Lakers make a trade. I don't know what that means. Yeah, by the way, everybody, when this video ends, please like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithms. Please like and comment because it helps our views. This is going to get a lot of views. Please check out my vlogs from this season, guys. They've been great content. I've been getting great seats, especially the Dallas one. That Norman Powell video is going to be out soon. You can see him, what he said up close about what he felt like when he came to the Clippers, his reaction when the trade happened. And he talked about Kawhi's championship run in Toronto with him and how he was. And he had really high praise. And obviously he was talking to me a little bit. So we'll get some of that. Joshua Huang says Rondo has a good potential to be a development coach. I totally agree with that. I could so see him in that role. Nathan Cruz says you should interview DJ Dents or Eric Smith. I've been working on Eric Smith. Don't worry about that. Hepatitis See You Later says I'm worried for Anthony Davis. I feel like they're going to rush him back and he's going to get hurt again. If he goes down again, that small glimmer of hope is over for my Lakers season. I don't think so, man. He's already, after tomorrow, he's going to have missed 23 games. So he's not even going to have played 60 games. Another season of AD playing less than 60. I'm just hoping Kawhi can get to 50. Stanley Obeng says, why CP3 choke too much? Okay, that's not a coherent sentence. B. Rizzy asks, best trip to the NBA? I don't know. Kyle's Take says, I think no one talks about CP3 Game 5 versus the Thunder because it's not part of his blown 2-0 leads, I bet. It's not a bad take. Phoenix Plays, he says, because Conley's very good at basketball. Someone who can orchestrate the offense gives you creation on the ball as well. Yeah, I mean, I think he does a little bit, for sure. He's got the floater, he's got the three. But he's old. He doesn't really give us that much downhill penetration. And he's not the same defender he once was. And we don't need more guards. Phoenix Plays, he says, the Rocco acknowledgement was awesome. That must have been dope. Yeah, it was cool. Rocco's a good guy. That guy, Spencer, says, worst case matchup for the Clippers in the standings. We play Denver or Golden State first round. Or Golden State first round, and then, like, if we beat them, we got Denver next. Enrique Rodriguez says, tomorrow's postgame is going to be a beast. That's right. Stanley Obeng says, I wish LeBron had played Kobe in the finals. Oh, that would have been ugly for LeBron. I can promise you that. Nathan Cruz says, all the Kawhi haters at the start of the season are quiet now. It's true. Trade AD unreliable will get hurt every postseason. I don't know about that. Stanley Obeng says 76ers are contenders. I beg to differ. They should be, but Glenn Rivers will find a way to choke. They'll lose in the second round again. Okay, the final question. Why does CP3 choke in the playoffs a lot? In my opinion, it's because he's not the number one. Let's just put it that way. He can never be the number one in a championship team, even in his prime. So that's part of it. Secondly, he's slightly overrated on defense. He gets blown by elite players that are quick with the ball. But that's not why he's lost. I think a lot of times Chris Paul overthinks things. He overthinks things, and he wants to win so bad that he spazzes. And he also can't play without the ball. All he does is, if he does play without the ball, he just stands on the wing for three. But he doesn't move. He needs to dictate everything. And nowadays, when teams switch length onto him, he just doesn't have the same burst. He can't get a clean look. And my last question, is Jokic have a great case for greatest passer ever, or is it too premature? Best passing big, maybe. probably. Not best passer ever. He's a great passer, though, but Magic Johnson existed. Anyway, that's it for me tonight, guys. Comment on the video. You already know what it is. Peace. Appreciate everybody.